Hey everybody, and welcome to Comic Duo with me, Anthony.
I'm Mike, and today I am here with him to bring you this. This is an amazing book. Okay, so we're going to start off this book, and we're going to see Apollo on this balcony, and he has these three women. And these three women he eventually turns into his oracle. So they kind of tell him, your father, you know how he is, kind of playing, puppet master and stuff like this. Well, a child of his is going to kill another child of his, and that child is going to take its place. And it's not going to end well for you. So then we're in a barn, and there is a figure with a cloak. And the cloak is made of what looks like peacock feathers, and we see two horses. And this figure, which is obviously a woman, walks past these horses and lay down some weapon and comes to a scythe laying on the wall. And she gives it a little bit of a magic touch, and off with their heads, the horses are dead.
Huh.
And from these corpses rise creatures of some kind.
Just right out of the necks.
Just right out of the necks. It's very interesting, it's very amazing, it's very gory, and I love it. So what's happening inside the house is there's a girl, and her name is Zola, and
she's in her panties.
She is in her panties, and she's holding a shotgun, and the shotgun is pointed at Hermes.
You have to pay extra for that in most states.
You do. He's there. I can't leave you. You will die here. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Through the stomach comes an arrow.
Thunk.
Yep. Through the door comes these assassins that were born from the corpses of these horses.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Centaurs.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Centaurs.
They have little masks.
They do. They
Raphael
have
masks.
Raphael masks.
Yeah.
Argument could be made for Michelangelo.
They're red though.
Or maybe orange.
If you're colorblind.
I guess so. Maybe I am. We all see different spectrums of light, so go fuck yourself.
Like that stupid fucking dress.
It was black and blue, you fucking
Shut the fuck
idiots.
up. Go on with the story. Teenage Mutant Centaurs.
So then we're in the house, and Zola's being attacked by these Teenage Mutant Ninja Centaurs, and Hermes throws her the key, and, bam, all of a sudden she is transported to a room, a bedroom, that belongs to a woman who is in the nude, sleeping. She's covered. Don't worry, there's no nudity in this. And all of a sudden Zola finds herself in the grasp of a very strong Diana, which looks like to be Wonder Woman. She's freaked out. Who the hell are you? What are you doing here? Zola's like, oh my god, these things attacked me and I just transported them. Let me go. So Wonder Woman's like, this is an interesting story. Let me get dressed. Ta-ta! It's Wonder Woman. And Zola gets all fucking starstruck. Modestly, it's Diana. Well, let me see this key that you speak of. And she reaches for it, and all of a sudden they're transported back to the farm. Where the centaurs were. Shit. Arrow, blocked. She's a badass. What the hell's going on? Epic battle ensues. Diana, centaurs. Zola's fucking scared. Still in her panties.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Centaurs.
Heroes and a half.
Half man, half horse. Centaur power.
Now that the battle is over, Hermes is explaining to them he's there to protect Zola because Zola is pregnant with Zeus's unborn child.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
That's what she says. She's like,
Yeah.
oh shit!
So at the same time, Apollo learns this. And so Apollo says, well, where is this this child of Zeus? And they reveal to him, oh, it hasn't been born yet. Zola's unborn bastard child of Zeus is going to play a part in some scheme. So after that, we find ourselves on Mount Olympus, and Hera is pissed because she is the one who sent those centaurs to kill Zola.
Yeah, she's wearing the cloak and everything.
She's pretty upset because once again her husband has planted his seed in another young girl. And this seems to be fucking what Zeus does, you know?
He's a player.
He's a player. He's got game. He's a god.
He's God game.
Yeah. And Strife is there with her, Strife is the daughter of Hera and Zeus. And she's kind of like stabbing her, like poking her with a stick, being like, "You're not really that as important as you think you are. You're the wife of Zeus, but what does that mean when he's going around fucking everybody else?" She's jealous and pissed off enough to want to kill any child of Zeus's, right? She's probably tried this before, and probably will try it again.
Probably succeeded before.
Probably, maybe. We don't know how many unborn children of Zeus there were because of Hera. We don't know. So now we're on Fantasy... I said Fantasy Island. Now we're on Fantasy Island. Now we're on Paradise Island, and we see Diana, Wonder Woman, pardon me, carrying Hermes because he's wounded. They think he's dying. Not really sure. Zola is now dressed almost the exact same, but with shorts.
She has short shorts.
Short shorts. Who wears short shorts? Zola wears short shorts. Anyway, she's got the shotgun. They're walking through the forest, like Little John, and they hear, "Who goeth there? Tell us who it is, or we will strike thee down." And Wonder Woman's like, give it your best shot. "Well, who dares speak back to us?" And she says, "Princess Diana, daughter of your queen." Everybody's like, "Oh shit." Bow. So when everybody bows, there's Queen Hippolyta. Queen Hippolyta is the mother of Wonder Woman. She takes her daughter off to the side. She knows what the situation is. "Do you really want to take this?" Diana's kind of like, "Well, I kind of have to. It's not the girl's fault. Somebody needs to protect her." We jump to Zola and Hermes. They're having a conversation. And, "So what form did Zeus take to woo you?" And
a truck driver.
She was like, "A truck driver, a dude in a band, or some other dude?" And he was kind of like, "Well, you kind of get around." And she was like, "Hang on, man.
I like men herpes.
Yeah.
I like men and herpes.
Yeah.
I like men Hermes, and I'm not gonna apologize for that."
Bam. Kudos, dude. Fucking does. I like that. I'm not gonna be ashamed of who I am and what I like. Good
You
job.
be you.
You be you. And, so that's my story. And, speaking of stories, so what's Diana's story? What Hermes explains is that Queen Hippolyta went out on a moonless night and fashioned a baby out of the clay down on the beach.
Down by the river.
Down by the river! And they weren't in a van, though. They were in a hut, right? I don't know. So anyway, she makes the baby on the moonless night, prays to the gods, falls asleep exhausted, wakes up, there's this baby. Her prayers have been answered. Hallelujah! Look, whatever, So now after we've, heard this story, that's a great story.
Zola's
right?
just like, "That's weird."
That is yeah, most what does he say?
Most legends says Hermes.
Yeah. So after that story, we're back with Diana, and we come to this very attractive, large, red-headed girl, and her name is Alika. And there's obviously a rival there. And Alika wants to get the best of Wonder Woman. And so they have this little, friendly spat. And, Wonder Woman's kind of like blocking effortlessly, just like, whatever, this is nothing to me. Knocks her on her ass. Whatever.
You need some help?
You need some help? Let me help you up. There's going to be 2 hits here, sister. Me hitting you, you hitting the ground. And it starts to rain, and Queen Hippolyta is bothered, and one of the sisters asks her what's wrong, what is she worried about? And she's like, it's more of a fear thing than anything else, because I think she knows something is about to happen terrible, and there's nothing that she can do to avoid it. So all of a sudden, boom, there's a huge explosion. Into the forest, like Little John they go, to see what this was, and all of a sudden they start getting attacked. And Alika's like, "There's more than one of them, we've got to find out who this is and take them down." And as they're going through the battle, Wonder Woman turns to Alika and sees that she's being controlled, manipulated, obviously. And she screams, "Everybody stop what you're doing, you're attacking each other, you're being mind controlled." Well, what the hell's causing all this? Bam, Strife. Strife, as we've come to find out, is kind of like a Loki character. She causes confusion and chaos, and she enjoys it very much. Okay, so, kudos to her. She's in giant form right now, so it's a little bitty Wonder Woman with a big old Strife. Wonder Woman's got her lasso out, and they're having this dialogue back and forth. And she's like, you misunderstand me. I come in peace. And she's like, you come in peace? Do you have your brother Ares at your tail? Because you don't know what peace means. And she's like, War's doing his own thing. I'm here to see my sister. He's like, you think that the unborn child is a girl? And she picks her up by the laugh, and she's like, I was talking about you, Wonder Woman. So they're having to build these funeral pyres for their fallen sisters on the beach side, and it's during the day, and they're constructing these things, and they're having a conversation, and Alika's kind of starting to plant the seed of, hey, this is all Diana's fault, right? She's the one who brought this upon us. She's the reason why all this happened, maybe. And all the other girls are like, oh, it's Clay. They call her Clay because
I was about to ask, who the fuck is Clay?
They fashioned Diana from Clay, so that's her fucking
It's
nickname,
like
right?
nickname.
And it's like, have you ever heard Wonder Woman called that before? Probably.
No, I've never.
I
think
know.
they made that up just for New 52.
Which I don't mind. It's great.
It's
I
cool,
love
I guess.
I love this story, so I'm okay with everything. So there's kind of like this little argument that happens between Diana, Hermes, and Strife, and Strife starts to hint at the truth of everything, and Queen Hippolyta comes in and stops everything and takes Diana away. Well, Queen Hippolyta decides that she's going to be the one to explain to Diana the truth. The truth is that Queen Hippolyta and Zeus made Whoopi. Made Whoopi and made Diana. I've looked at the history of Wonder Woman, and she has never been the daughter of Zeus.
Yeah.
Today she is.
The New 52.
The New 52, Diana, is the daughter of Zeus. Another bastard child of a god. Okay. So, I'm already liking Wonder Woman more than I ever have. Great. Now she's powerful. Now she can hold her own against Superman. Legitimately hold her own. And that's what I think of Wonder Woman when I think, she's that powerful. So now I'm glad that she's the daughter of a god, right? Okay. So we're at the ceremony where, they're about to burn their fallen on these funeral pyres, and Alika is just irritated. She's mad because her sisters have fallen, and she's blaming Diana. Which, by the way, Diana got the news that her whole life has been a lie. She's pissed. So she's raging in the forest. Knocking down trees, barreling through shit, just trees are falling. And she pours out onto the beach where Alika is, trying to convince everybody else that Diana's the problem. Diana just, gets up, knocks her the fuck out, sets fire to all the pyres. I'm out. And one of them calls her Clay, Clay, don't go. And she's like, don't ever call me that. And don't ever call me Diana again. And I'm Wonder Woman. It's like, wow, she's that pissed. She has disassociated herself with her real name and her nickname. Anything that associates her with Paradise Island, done. Now we're in Darfur. And we see Ares, the god of war, looks like this old crumpled man, and Apollo. Now obviously Apollo is concerned because his oracles told him that this wasn't going to end well for him. So he wants to see if War would kind of ally up. And they have this little conversation, and War's just not. He's not having it. This is kind of boring to him. And as they're having this conversation, we jump to a rock concert. There's Strife, and she's drinking, and she's having a good old time. She kind of explains to Diana the way that the family works. You either have the ones that are against you, or the ones that are against you. And they have this little dialogue, and she says, "Well, we can take care of the situation right now." And kind of puts her hand on the Zola's stomach, and Diana smashes the bottle, stabs her hand, and says, "You don't fucking touch this kid. This kid is under my protection." So we go to Paradise Island, and we see Queen Hippolyta and Hera. Hippolyta knows what's coming, and she gets it. And she's on her knees, begging for forgiveness. Offers up her axe to Hera. Hera takes the axe, pulls back, kind of feels sorry for her, I guess. Doesn't strike, doesn't kill her. And then we go back to a room in London, and I'm assuming that it's Wonder Woman's room. And they're having a conversation about family and stuff like this. And it kind of makes Wonder Woman think, maybe I should go see Mom and reconcile, because, I was kind of like a little bitch about everything. So she does. She trades Hermes' staff with the sword and the shield, and she teleports to Paradise Island. And she walks into this arena, and there's all these snakes. One can only assume Medusa. And she's talking to her mother, pleading with her, "Please forgive me. I wasn't reasonable. I got angry, and I left. And now I've come back because I love you." And bam, there's Queen Hippolyta, petrified, obviously by Medusa, and Wonder Woman is there hugging her. Nothing she can do. And we bounce back to the bar where we see Apollo and Ares, and they're continuing the conversation because Apollo's pretty worried, pretty concerned, and he wants war on his side. And War's not having any of it. He kind of has to explain in the end to Apollo. He says, "Look, it's not even really up to us. It's up to the immortals. They're the ones who decide our fate. And in the end, the mortals will always choose war." So we're at lunchtime. It's Zola, Hermes, and Wonder Woman. And they're having a conversation, and all of a sudden, this guy pops out of nowhere. And he has a bandage on his nose. He has a Australian accent. And he's like, I can hear your words into the wind. And, princess. And makes it clear that he knows who she is. And he's like, "Who are you?" And I'm Lennox. And they have like this little conversation. And they kind of formulate a plan. And basically the plan is to get Poseidon and Hades. And Diana's going to take Poseidon, and Lennox is going to take Hades. So Diana has to be up on the bridge by 6 o'clock. That's when Poseidon's going to show up. And so they go up onto the bridge, and her and Zola have this little conversation about, new family and stuff like that. Lennox and Hermes go to the sewer. And, Hermes has got to make it clear, "I'm wounded. I am no good to anybody." He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it, old chap. I got this thing." So we've got Diana on the bridge, and we've got Lennox in the sewer. And here pops out Poseidon. And they kind of have a little spat. Diana's trying really hard to explain that Hera is trying to claim the heavens for herself. And, dare she? And he takes it out on Wonder Woman like it was her fault. What the hell, Poseidon? He's just like this bully god that's got anger issues or whatever.
Does it ever say where Zeus is in this whole book?
Nobody has hinted at the idea that he's dead, but he's just gone. Nobody can find him. So Hera's trying to take over. Poseidon's kind of pissed off about that, taking it out on Diana. She's trying to explain the whole plan of what they've come up with, and he's not having any of it. So Lennox is in the sewer, and he gets attacked by a Cerberus, which is this three-headed dog monster. And, obviously, they're the ones that guard the gates to hell. So then Hades comes out, and Hades has a really interesting look. See, Poseidon was this big whale walrus-looking fish thing with tentacles and, whatever. Hades is this teenage boy
Candles on
his head, and the wax is covering his eyes.
Yeah.
And Lennox is having a lot more luck dealing with Hades than Diana is with Poseidon. I guess Hades wants to hear wants in on his piece of the pie, so he wants to make sure that he understands what's going on. So after all this hoopla, while Diana is trying to reason with Poseidon, the Centaurs show back up.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Centaurs.
Yeah, but they're not heroes at all. They're trying to kill Zola and her unborn child. And it's like, geez, give the girl a break, man. But nope, they were on orders from Hera. Kill this bitch. So Diana sees this and, breaks out of her engagement with Poseidon and takes care of the Centaurs once and for all. And, I thought I told you to stay close. You're kind of fucking with this god over here, god of the sea. How close you want me to be, dumbass. So, anyway, she takes care of the Centaurs, and after all the more hoopla goes on, and Hades is informed, Poseidon is not. And so they all gather outside the sewers, and, Poseidon is clueless because he's being an idiot. And Diana's like, you didn't let me finish. You didn't let me tell you. So this is where they tell them the plan. And the plan is to have the sea rule the earth by day, and hell to rule the earth by night. Both share the throne, and both share the queen. Well, of course, who's watching? Hera's watching. She hears this is like bull fucking shit. Boom, she's right there. I don't think so. This isn't happening. So Lennox grabs a candle off of Hades' head, snaps it, throws it to Wonder Woman. Hermes tosses his staff to Wonder Woman. So now Wonder Woman has a candle and the staff, and she teleports back to Mount Olympus, where Hera came from. And Hera's down there confused. What the hell's going on? So she teleports back to Mount Olympus, and there's Diana standing there with the staff. She had thrown the candle into the pool and destroyed it. Now she's completely blind. And we come to find out that this was the plan all along, to get Poseidon and Hades together to reveal this fake plan. So Poseidon is amused by this. He sees all this happen and he's just like, we were playing for fools. Whatever, I'm out. No big deal. Which is weird because he was throwing such a fit.
Yeah, he was the one that was really pissed and didn't want to listen to anything. And now he's just, I'm a fool, But then Hades, the one that actually paid attention, wanted to do something, was
see, there's a reason. There's a reason why he was paying attention, because there was a deal being struck.
Yeah.
And he wanted to make sure he understood every detail of this deal, because
making a deal with the devil.
Making a deal with the devil, you pay your price, right? So Hades kind of wanders off. And we see Zola, and she sees her mother, and she starts walking to it, of course, and Wonder Woman, Hermes, and Lennox are kind of like, oh shit, and Hermes yells out to her, no, don't, and it's actually Hades, and grabs her, and, oh fuck, Wonder Woman, damn it, wasn't paying attention. And bam, all of a sudden, it's Hades, and he says, you made a deal. I expect you to keep your end of the deal.
Fulfill your end, or Zeus's bloodline ends with you.
That's the end of that book. For me, that was an amazing book. I enjoyed it. I loved it.
It was actually a really good book. Obviously I didn't say much because I was reading the book.
So this has been the Wonder Woman edition of Comic Duo. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and hit subscribe.
Maybe even a like.
And we'll see you next time on Comic Duo.